Number one, introduction of literature. Number two, steps of literature. Number three, how to get the command over the literature. Number four, an important note. As Maulana Sayyid Abul Hasan Ali Hassani Nadwi said in one of his speeches that the nation that has not its own literature, the nation that has not its own master of literature, the nation that imports the literature from outside, from other community, that nation cannot be independent in reality, even if it is.
इसके बाद हम मोहम्मद तौक़ीर नदवी को दावत देते हैं जो इंग्लिश लिटरेचर पर आपके सामने वजाहत करेंगे। फ़ी नफ्सी ही एक सवाल जहन में आता है कि प्रोग्राम कंप्लीट इंग्लिश में ही चल रहा है, उलमाए किराम हुफ़ाज़ किराम आ रहे हैं, आखिर आपका हदफ क्या है, मकसद क्या है? जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि ज़ुबान सिर्फ़ ज़ुबान नहीं आती है। अंग्रेज़ी ज़ुबान कोई सीखना शुरू करे, पढ़ना शुरू करे तो वो सिर्फ़ ज़ुबान नहीं आती है, बल्कि ज़ुबान अपने साथ तहज़ीब लाती है, कल्चर लाती है। आप देखेंगे कि भाई चाहे वो सेंट्रल बोर्ड हो या सीबीएसई बोर्ड हो या कर्नाटका बोर्ड हो, कोई भी किताब आप उठा के देखिए कि जहाँ ज़ुबान आ रही है तो वहाँ यूरोपियन कल्चर भी आ रहा है। जहाँ पर अखलाक में आप देखेंगे तो अखलाक में गिरावट मिलेगी और 50 चीज़ें वहाँ पर है, बेहयाई है, कई चीज़ें हैं। आप 8th की किताब उठाकर देखिए जो फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज है, जिसका फर्स्ट चैप्टर ही है स्वयंवरा, और एक मुस्तकिल वहाँ पर आप देखेंगे कि किस एतबार से अखलाक को बिगाड़ा जा रहा है, बेहयाई की तरफ लाया जा रहा है। तो इन उलमा के ज़रिए हम ये चाहते हैं कि अंग्रेज़ी ज़ुबान वक्त की एक ज़रूरत है, कुछ ज़रूरत के तहत ज़ुबान तो सीखी जाए, लेकिन अंग्रेज़ों का जो कल्चर है, यूरोपियन जो कल्चर है, उसकी नफ़ी की जाए, उसको वहाँ से हटाया जाए। इसी को लेकर मोहम्मद तौक़ीर नदवी आपके सामने अपना प्रेजेंटेशन पेश करेंगे।
Assalamu alaikum. I'm really grateful to be given a second chance to talk about English literature. I have divided my topic into 4 parts. Number 1, introduction of literature. Number 2, steps of literature. Number 3, how to get the command over the literature. Number 4, an important note. So the first part is introduction of literature. It has 3 points. Number 1, definition of literature. Number 2, power of literature. Number 3, need of literature. So the first point is definition of literature. What is literature? Etymologically, the word literature is a modified form of a Latin word, litera, literatura, literatus, which means writing formed with letters. The name literature has traditionally been applied to those imaginative works of poetry and prose, distinguished by the intentions of their authors and the pursued aesthetic excellence of their execution and beauty of expression and form, and by universality of intellectual and emotional appeal. This is very basic definition of literature. The second point is power of literature. What is the power of literature? So there is a famous and wise proverb, the pen is mightier than the sword. Literature can change our mind and heart. Literature has both effects, positive and negative. Literature can reform our life or destroy it. Literature can improve our mind or spoil it. The third point is need of literature. What is the need of literature? Why do we need to study literature? Why do we need to become a master in literature? So there are several reasons, but I want to highlight only 3 reasons. Number 1, the flow of new ideas and thoughts are connected to the literature. As our trainer Mufti Abdul Haq Sahab Nadwi said several times while teaching us that literature can broaden our mind. Literature can broaden our perspective. The second reason is literature protects us from mental slavery. As Maulana Sayyid Abul Hasan Ali Hassani Nadwi said in one of his speeches that the nation that has not its own literature, the nation that has not its own master of literature, the nation that imports the literature from outside, from other community, that nation cannot be independent in reality, even if it is independent on papers. The third reason is the majority of people today talk and understand English language. So we have to study English language so that we can convey the message of Islam to the majority. The second part of my topic is steps of English literature. How many steps of English literature are there? So there are 3 steps of English literature. Number 1, base level literature. Number 2, middle level literature. Number 3, higher level literature. So the first step is base level literature. It is easiest as per the children. The purpose of base level literature is to instill the vocabulary, the sentences in the children's minds. There are several features of base level literature, but I want to highlight only some features. A, repetition of words. B, less use of vocabulary. C, repetition of sentences. D, short sentences. E, clear words and clear meanings. F, use of a lot of images. I would like to give an example of base level literature. It was Sunday. Mary's parents took her to the zoo. She was happy to see different animals there. She saw an ostrich running very fast and monkey climbing up a tree. When she went near the bear's cage, it hid behind a rock. She was amazed when she saw colorful fish in the aquarium. She returned home in the evening happily. This text is full of very short sentences, less use of vocabulary, and clear words and clear meanings are there. No hidden is there. The second step of literature is middle level literature. Middle level literature is as a bridge between base level literature and higher level literature. In it, there is revision as well as upcoming features. I would like to give an example of middle level literature. One of the reasons for this reminder of success in Azan is that a person avoids coming to Salah because he thinks that he will lose worldly gains associated with work if he comes to prayer. He sometimes behaves like a foolish person who is looking in a direction opposite to the real one. The third step of literature is higher level literature. Language is at the heart of higher level literature. It is a representative of a set of highly valued and highly valuable language skills. There are several features of higher level literature, but I want to highlight only some features. A lot of vocabulary. B, use of phrases. C, synonyms and opposite words. D, lengthy sentences. E, short and sweet. F, hidden words and hidden meanings. I would like to give an example of higher level literature. Mus'ab ibn Umar radiallahu anh was the flower of the Quraysh. He was born and brought up in wealth, and he grew up with its luxuries. Perhaps there was no boy in Mecca who was pampered by his parents like Mus'ab. This mirthful youth cursed and pampered the talk of the ladies of Mecca, was the jewel of its clubs and assemblies. This text includes phrases, synonyms, and a lot of vocabulary. The third part of my topic is how to get the command over the literature, how to learn English language. So it has 2 points. Number 1, how to read. Number 2, how to understand. The first point is how to read. It has 2 steps. Number 1, read the same text again and again until you read without again. It means without cutting the sentences, without taking pause before full stop. And the second step is, and the best way to become fluent in reading is, as our trainer Mufti Abdul Haq Sahab Nadwi said several times while teaching us, that record your voice while reading and listen it again and again. It will help you a lot to become fluent in reading. And the second step is read and repeat only the word which is new for you. No need to repeat the whole sentence. The second point is how to understand. So it has 6 steps. Number 1, vocabulary, expression, explanation, parts of speech, framing the sentences, and phrasal verb. So the first step is vocabulary. Vocabulary is as a fuel, or vocabulary is as a petrol or fuel for the language and literature. No one can understand the language without vocabulary, even if he has the wonderful command over the grammar. And there are 3 kinds of vocabulary. Number 1, religious vocabulary. And for your kind information, that there are 2 religious books included in our curriculum. Number 1, understand Al-Quran as a middle level literature. And number 2, men, women around the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a higher level literature. And the second kind of vocabulary is modern vocabulary. And regarding to this one, there are some modern subjects included in our curriculum. For example, economics, geography, and Indian constitution. The third kind of vocabulary is common vocabulary. And regarding to this one, our great trainer gave a task to listen the news channels. For example, Al Jazeera, BBC News, CNN, etc. How to enhance the vocabulary? To enhance the vocabulary, we have to study a lot of books, we have to listen the native speakers, and we have to deliver the talk, and we have to count new words. Phrasal verb. Phrasal verb is a 2 or 3 part verb. Phrasal verb is the backbone of language and literature. With the help of phrasal verb, we can change the meaning immediately. For example, bear, to give birth to a child, to be able to deal with something unpleasant. Bear down on, to move quickly towards something. Bear on, to relate to something. Bear out, to show that somebody is right. Bear up, to remain cheerful during a difficult time. Bear with, to be passionate with somebody, something. Framing the sentences. With the help of selecting and framing the sentences, we can make our own sentences. We can make our own sentence. Even we can write essays. Even we can write books. For example, there is a sentence, Abu Zar radiallahu anh tried by all means to force his camel to move forward. So I have framed only 4 sentences. But we can frame uncountable sentences only upon one sentence. Parts of speech. Parts of speech is the base and foundation of language and literature. No one can understand the language without parts of speech. There are 8 parts of speech: noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, interjection. For example, if you look at first column, so there are 3 examples: broken rice, drinking water, I need milk. So broken, drinking, milk in first column are adverb and nouns. But if you look at second column, so there are same words, broken, drinking, milk, but they are not adverb and not noun, but they are only verb. So if we do not have the command, so due to short time, I have to conclude. Thank you so much.